This is a video that is giving a visual representation for ELL students of the real number system. It utilizes a graphic organizer to show the relationships and hierarchical nature of real numbers. So giving each student a piece of paper, have them draw a large rectangle. This represents the real number system as a whole. So here we have our real number system. And then in the real number system, there are two main categories: rational numbers and irrational numbers. So let's go ahead and divide up our rectangle into two. Over here we're going to have irrational numbers. And then on this side we're going to have rational numbers. Next, have students think of a few examples. For example, irrational numbers. That could be radical 10 or pi, or perhaps 0.101001, continuing on forever. Another good example is radical 2 over 3. Rational numbers could be negative 2/3, perhaps 1/2. 0.37 is another good example. Now, in the rational numbers, we have three more categories that we can break down. First, we have integers. So let's draw another box to represent the integers. And integers include numbers like -3, 7, 10. However, inside the integers, there's another level. And this is what we call the whole numbers. Now, whole numbers start at 0 and are anything positive. So examples would be 0, radical 25, 1, and so on. Now, the last category is natural numbers. And that's inside of whole numbers. So these are natural numbers. And natural numbers start at 1 and work their way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. This graphical representation of the real number system allows students to understand and see the different relationships. For example, the number 2 here is a natural number, which also means it's a whole number, an integer, a rational number, and a real number. Now, over here on the irrational side, these numbers don't fit into any of these categories. So students are able to see that there's a difference between irrational and rational numbers. Now, another way to help is we can see that negative 2/3 is a rational number, but it doesn't fit in any of these other categories. So therefore, it only is rational and not an integer, a whole number, or a natural number. This strategy helps ELL separate and also identify different numbers, which is part of the California state standards. Allowing students to come up with their own examples of numbers will assist them in answering questions such as what is the difference between a rational and irrational, or a natural and a whole number. In that case, the distance between natural and whole numbers is that whole numbers include 0, while natural numbers start at 1. This is a great strategy to use when introducing the real number system and works well for ELL students.